Hey everybody, Brad here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about 9 responses to unresolved trauma. So the first response to unresolved trauma is difficulty sleeping. So these are things like if you're having nightmares or flashbacks, or you're waking up at 1 in the morning and your mind is just swirling with all these negative thoughts about something that happened in your past. Those are signs that there might be some unresolved trauma that your brain might be trying to bring into your awareness and process in the middle of the night. So if you have anything like that, know somebody who's having difficulty sleeping with nightmares or flashbacks, that's a response to unresolved trauma. And the second thing is irritability and extreme anxiety. So these are things like if you're on edge all the time, if you are jumpy, if you're always scared, if your heart is racing, you're having heart palpitations, if you're in like a constant state of anxiety, or this really elevated state of anxiety where someone drops a pen like 2 rooms away and you jump out of your skin, that is a telltale sign of unresolved trauma in your past. And the third thing here is depression and negativity. Maybe you can't get out of bed because you're so sad, you're so depressed, or you can't get out of your house. Or if you're like I was, I would pretty much just travel from my bed to the fridge, to my bed to the fridge, watch movies and play video games all day. So if you're in a state, know somebody who's in a depressed state, it's another very common sign that they went through something traumatic in their past, and it's affecting the way that they are feeling today. And the fourth thing here are angry outbursts. So these are things when one small thing can start this cascade of emotion inside of somebody. So you are yelling, screaming, throwing things, breaking things, punching holes through walls, and some little trigger just ignites this thing inside of them and makes them really angry really, really quickly. So you basically go from 0 to 100 in no time flat. And the fifth problem, which kind of links with the last one, the angry outbursts, is relationship problems. So this is when maybe you're in a relationship where you're fighting, you're screaming all the time, you're blaming each other, and there's just no resolve, there's no vulnerability or letting the walls down to try to heal or connect or resolve. You're just fighting and not connecting, and just having all these problems. And a big one is all of those angry outbursts. And the sixth one is extremely low self-esteem. So when you're constantly thinking hey, I'm a failure, I can't do anything right, I feel like I'm worthless, I feel like I'm dirt, I feel like I can't do anything right. When you are thinking about those thoughts all the time, when you feel like you're a failure, when you feel like you try these things and you always mess things up, that's a sign that you've gone through something traumatic in your past, and it's affecting your present in a way that makes you feel pretty much worthless. And the seventh thing here is perfectionism or beating yourself up. And this is kind of like a binary belief system where if things aren't 100% right, then they're 100% wrong. There's no gray area in between. It's either right or wrong. And most of the time in life, things are not perfect. So essentially when you have this sort of mindset, things are always going wrong, and you're always down at the point of view where everything is 100% wrong in your life. And now the eighth thing is if you have scattered or flaky behavior. So, this is when you're constantly making plans or wanting to do things, or want to go to events or, family events or whatever. And you make those plans, but then you constantly flake on them. You constantly, make these commitments and then, break the plans because of your emotions. And I don't say that in any sort of negative way, because I used to do that all the time too. But it's a sign of unresolved trauma, because usually when that happens, it's not that person is flaking, it's that person, is just feeling so many emotions, and a lot of times they don't want to feel the shame of, going to an event and, maybe feeling negative, or they don't want to bring everybody else down. So right before the event, that brings up a lot of anxiety, and a lot of people who have had these unresolved traumas, they just get overwhelmed and then they back out, and because they don't want to ruin things, they don't want to mess things up, and they don't want to embarrass themselves. So if you're going through that, that's another sign of unresolved trauma in your past that's affecting your present today. The ninth thing is emotional numbness. And we talked about angry outbursts. We talked about, that extreme anxiety or that extreme depression of being signs of unresolved trauma. But this is the other side of that coin, where you just feel numb. You don't feel anything. It's when it feels like like you're just an empty shell, you know, walking around and not feeling anything. It's like a Dementor came and sucked your soul out, you know? But those are the 9 things, the 9 responses to unresolved trauma. And the last thing I want to say again is that, you know, if you are going through all of these things, or if somebody you love or somebody you know is going through all of these things, or, you know, has experienced any one or a number of these signs, that there is hope. You know, there is a path to healing. So there is hope. If you are going through this, if you know somebody who's going through this, there's 100% hope. And I hope that this awareness helps you guys take that first step to healing, to recovery, to rebuilding a life that you can have and that you truly deserve. So I hope that this helped you. If it did help you, you know, please leave a comment below with how you liked the video or how you didn't like the video. And if you liked this video, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell to get notified for our future videos. But I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you next week.